Welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to be continuing on with our macOS development with AppKit tutorial series. And in this particular tutorial we are going to be taking a look at how we can search through the contents of a table, collection view, whatever the case might be, using a search bar in AppKit. Now, the UI component that we're going to use for this is an NSSearchField. You could use a normal text field and that would work just fine. But the NSSearchField is specifically optimized for searches, for performing searches. So let's go ahead and go into Xcode and get started implementing an NSSearchField. Now, I already have constraints set up, so we don't have to worry about that or anything, or we don't have to worry about constraining the UI or anything like that. We just have to worry about creating an instance of NSSearchField, customizing it, adding it as a subview to the view, and then performing some code to actually perform the search. So inside of Xcode, to create a search field, we're going to say var search field equals NSSearchField with an empty initializer like that. Now, one thing to note about NSSearchField is that NSSearchField inherits from NSTextField. So anything you can do with a text field, you can do with an NSSearchField. Just keep in mind, though, that some of the things you can do with a text field might not make a whole lot of sense with NSSearchField. If you want to experiment with it, I urge you to do that, so you can kind of get an idea of what you're dealing with. But let's go ahead and go down to our configure method and configure our search field. All right, so here we're going to say search field dot Xcode search field dot placeholder string equals, let's say, search for a movie. So you can set the placeholder text of your search field. If you don't set it, it will be search by default. But I want the placeholder text to be search for a movie. There are many other things you can do with a search field other than configuring the target, the action, and the placeholder. You can also configure recent searches to show up in a menu and all that kind of stuff, but that's a little bit beyond the scope of this video. This video is just to demonstrate how you can get a basic NSSearchField up and running in your application relatively quickly. So here we have our placeholder. We can say search field dot. You can set the bounds for a cancel button. You can set a delegate. Now sends search string immediately. If we take a look here, this will indicate whether or not you want the action to be called immediately, right, when an appropriate action is taken. So we're going to set that to true. You could set it to false if you wanted to. Then let's go ahead and enable programmatic constraints. So search field search field dot translates auto resizing mask into constraints equals false. Let's also set the action and target of our search field. Now, the action is going to be is going to be where we actually run our search query. So we'll say search field dot target, not tag, target. We'll set that equal to nil. Search field dot action equals hashtag selector, and then we'll say search, like that. Now I have this search method already created, but it's empty at the moment. All right, so the first thing that we want to do is we want to get the text from our search field. So we'll say let text equals search field dot string value. Then we'll say if text dot is empty. So if the text is empty, we will say self dot movies equals constants dot movies. So if it's empty, we want all the movies to be shown. Otherwise, what we want to do is we will say self dot movies equals constants dot movies dot filter, and then for the condition inside of filter, we will say $0 dot title dot contains text. Just like that. And once we have completed our search query, we want to apply snapshot. So save that, go ahead and run it. And here we are. So you can see our list of movies, and then above our table we have an NSSearchField. Okay, it's being okay, I wonder. Did I add it as a subview? I probably didn't. No, I did not. Okay, so let's say view, add subview, search field. All right, we'll save that, run it. All right. There we go. Now we see our search field, search for a movie. And beneath that is our table that contains all of our movies. Let's say inside of our search field we want Star Wars. And you saw as we typed, it actively filtered our data. So our search results show that we have 11 movies that contain Star Wars. All right, so that pretty much is how we can use NSSearchField to perform searches on data, whether it be in a table view or a collection view. Thank you all so very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.